Hi, welcome to the channel. In today's video we're going to look at a kind of early autumn camping setup in the Vango Ozone 40 litre lightweight bag. So we've got, I think, enough gear to keep us warm and comfortable, even got some cooking gear and water and drink. The only thing I'm not going to add to this current setup is a little bit of food. So we just want to see how much we can get into the bag, how it all fits and feels, and obviously camera gear, which I always tap to the outside anyway. So I will be taking a tripod, but it's currently being used now to film this. So yeah, we just want to see if a 40 litre backpack is enough to get a comfortable camping in the early autumn period. We're not talking about late autumn when it's a bit colder. This should be good to around 7 degrees at night, possibly a little bit lower than that because we've got a little down jacket as well. But let's just see what we can get in. So obviously, one of the changes I have made to make this a bit of a warmer camp is I've upgraded my budget sleep mat. So I've been using a £12.50 Mountain Warehouse one with essentially no R rating at all. It's just an air mat. So I've been looking around Facebook and I found a Mountain Equipment Helium 3.8 with the 3.8 being the R rating. £25, brand new with tags, so it should be a much warmer sleep mat, so it will really help keep the sleeping bag warmer. So it is a little bit on the bulky side, so we'll try and stuff that in first. And at the same time we will put a sleeping bag liner and kind of stuff that into the bottom space as well. Sleeping bag, we're going for the OEX Fathom EV200, so comfort rated down to 7 degrees. I've used a sleeping bag an awful lot. Packs down small, only weighs about 800 grams, but it is pretty warm, especially with the sleeping bag liner. Now I'm not sure whether to try and pack the tent onto the outside of the bag. I just wonder if it will fit down there or if I need to put it either on the inside of the bag or do I pack it into separate dry bags. Let's just see. Seems to fit okay. This is the Robert Saunders Jet Packer, the original version. So it is 1.2 kilos, packs down really small. Just got some separate pegs for it, that's all it needs. So that stuff that into the bag here. Goes on the side without too many problems. Now, we've got a pretty standard setup in terms of gear, so sun cream, ear defenders, painkillers and waterproof lighter, first aid kit, toilet kit, and then headlamp, lamp, torch, and an anemometer, the wind thing. So I always stuff that into a dry bag. I don't normally drop it and lose it like that. And in there we can chuck in the cook set as well. And then we've got a spare gas canister and some tongs and the OEX Fryster, which is still going after 2 uses. It has not been the most non-stick thing in the world, but it's cleaned up pretty well afterwards. So stuff that in there as well. So the bag is getting there. It's not brilliantly packed. Microfiber towel. And we're not expecting rain, but I'm still packing into dry bags anyway. Nemo Philo pillow, and then there is thermal leggings, thermal top, and a beanie hat, so plenty of warmth. A ultra lightweight OEX down jacket, and what I think I'll do with the pegs is I think I'll stuff the pegs into a separate pocket. So if I didn't have dry bags for this gear, it would fit in much nicer and tighter into the little spaces, but I know the bag is going to have plenty of room even without worrying about that. So we'll stuff pegs into the top pocket. I always take more than enough pegs. I've got 3 different sets there just to be on the safe side. That can go like that, so. So I've kept this outer pocket, so what I do is I put the fry pan and the spare gas into here. We've got 2 nice side pockets for drinks. We've got top lid free to put some other little bits and pieces in if we need to as well. So yeah, it's packed in pretty well. You can see I've not packed it brilliantly. There's definitely gaps in there as well. That's the one downside using dry bags like that. And I think if I packed the tent into 2 separate dry bags, it would fit much better as well. But for the time being, we're just going to go with this simple setup. Sleep mat's taking up a fair amount of room down the bottom there as well. Yeah, that's it. So we'll take it for a camp now. We'll see how it feels on the back. And yeah, we'll see if we can have a comfortable night tonight. So I took the backpack for a nice walk to Kenfig Dunes, about 5.5 miles from the car. Did a fine overnight camp. I was plenty warm enough in all of the gear, and then the walk back was about 5.5 miles as well the next morning. So I really like the Vango 40 litre pack because it's so lightweight. It weighs only just over a kilo for the bag. 40 litres is quite a good pack size. You can get quite a lot into it, and it's got some decent external pockets to carry bits and pieces in as well. So this wild camp was back in mid-September on a reasonably warm evening, but because it was clear overnight, the temperature did drop quite significantly. But I was perfectly warm enough in the sleeping bag. I'd had the sleeping bag liner as well. Didn't feel the need to put on too many layers whilst I was camping. So I figured, you know, as an autumnal setup, maybe it could go a little bit longer, maybe into October as well. That video was shot mid-September. Temperature was reasonably warm, although because it was clear, the temperatures dropped overnight quite significantly. However, we're now 31st of October, so moving into November, but it's actually been really, really mild here in the UK, which makes me think I might get some more use out of this 40 litre bag. So the reason why I would not normally use this 40 litre bag moving into sort of November time is the fact that any of my warmer sleeping bags, or certainly my budget warming sleeping bags, are just not going to fit into this pack. I've got a Snugpak Extreme sleeper, which is like -7 comfort rating, but it's a size and weight of a small house. My Aldi sleeping bag that's comfort rated about 4 degrees, that's quite big and bulky because it's synthetic as well. So ordinarily, if I was trying to do budget camps, I don't think I'd be able to use this bag. It's just not big enough to fit some of my budget sleeping bags in. However, because it is reasonably mild now, I think I will try it with another camp, but I'm going to try and extend the sleeping rating of my OEX Fathom 200 bag, which I use in this video, because my brother has bought me something for my birthday, which it's not my birthday yet, but he's given to me in advance, which is the OEX Thermalite Furnace 8 Plus. So tiny little thing, but supposedly it adds 8 degrees to your sleeping bag. So the OEX Fathom EV200 is comfort rated around 7 degrees. So technically this should make it comfort rated about -1. Now, I've seen completely different reviews of this kind of thing. Obviously OEX make them. A lot of other companies do make these kind of thermal sleeping bag liners, and you just hear wildly different reports about whether, yes, they're brilliant, they really help you increase the rating in your sleeping bag, or no, they're absolutely useless, don't make any difference at all. So what I thought I would do is I would take a very similar setup to what I used in mid-September, which I've shown in this video, and I would just add this Furnace sleeping bag liner instead of my standard cotton sleeping bag liner, and see if it really does work. Because I think the temperatures now, they're not too bad at the moment. It's been very, very mild here in the UK. So I think that maybe this would add a little bit of extra to my autumn setup, enabling me to use it for a little bit longer. But it'd be interesting to see just how well it works. So what I'll do is I'll go out in a camp soon. I'll use very similar gear to what I used in this video. I might use a slightly different tent just to try something different out. But it's all got to fit in a 40-litre backpack. It's all going to be as much of the budget gear as possible. And then we'll see if this thermal sleeping bag line does make a big difference. It is available, I think, probably at the moment on OEX, so millets, blacks, go outdoors for about 25 quid. So can a £25, 340 gram thermal sleeping bag liner really make much difference? Well, to find out, subscribe to the channel, drop this video a like, and then when the new video comes out, I'll be using this piece of kit and I'll let you know whether it's worth the £25 or not. Big thanks for watching. Slightly different video today. I've been really ill recently, so I've not been able to get out and do any kind of outdoorsy stuff. So I'm just trying to make the best of the videos I've already pre-shot from before, just to make a couple of videos. So I hope it's been remotely interesting for you, and I'll catch you in the next one.